This is part 2. It literally just cut off, so whatever. Um, but yeah, my fiance is making a smoothie for our daughter at the moment. All right, so we have see with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. Um, I'm gonna Mountains and Skyfather came out. Trust in the unknown, standing your ground. I'm gonna reshuffle this, but Skyfather and standing your ground, you're definitely getting messages from the divine, and it really has to do with standing in who you are. All right, standing your ground, like within your faith. I think I said this before. Standing your convictions, right? Wow, my cards don't want to shuffle at the moment. All right, there we go. So yeah, like I said, if anybody's interested in my other videos, definitely go check those out. You know what? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Alrighty, let's get some cards for now. The time is now to hear the messages. See with your heart. You know, there's the phrase "seeing is believing," but try telling that to people who walk in faith. Right? Not everything is seeing, or you don't need to see everything to believe. There's a phrase that I once shared. My heart believes in many things my eyes can never see, or something like that. If I find it, I'll post it on my community board. We have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Spring, see your seeds grow. I feel like move beyond ancestral patterns. The reason why you guys, I feel like there's an inkling inside of you. Also, with spring, see your seeds grow. You guys are seeing a lot of abundance, a lot of progression, a lot of good things happening for you at the moment. That's great. Okay. Um, see from a higher perspective, Eagle. See from a higher perspective. You guys are noticing a lot right now. And it has to do because you're tapping into love, right? Love is not an easy thing to tap into, because when you tap into love, that also requires you to love yourself. And that's one of the hardest things you could ever do, because especially if you are your biggest critic. If you are your biggest critic, it's hardest to love yourself. And that's one of the hardest things to do, but you're doing it, all right? So now, moving on from that, because you're tapping into this love, you're starting to notice a lot of patterns, all right? With the move beyond ancestral patterns, this goes back to the inkling that I was just talking about. You guys are getting inklings. You guys are noticing things like patterns, synchronicities, songs, just images, the way you hear things. All right, it's all coming from a higher perspective. All right, so it's allowing you to see things differently. All right, because you're moving differently. You're spiritually not who you were, or you're no longer spiritually where you were like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago or even 6 months ago. All right, um, so you're moving different spiritually. Back to this inkling. I keep moving away from this inkling. It's so funny. Um, you guys with this inkling, you guys are noticing these things, but the reason why on this deck it said, what did it say? I'm gonna show you guys. Feel and release. There's also a reason for that too. You guys could be scared to tap into this inkling, look up the synchronicities, do the research, because for some reason it's kind of like it still feels a little taboo to you. Like maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Like maybe you should just continue to live the same way your family lived, or your parents lived, or society wants you to live. Okay, you don't have to do that anymore. Okay, you're tapping into a whole new different you. All right, you're evolving. All right, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're evolving. So you guys, it's okay to move beyond those patterns. Understand that those patterns were there for a reason, most likely for survival, or trying to fit in, or to make sure that things were able to go smoothly because of how society was back then. But you're not able to be in a place where you can move beyond those ancestral patterns, because those patterns now, they might be the reason why you're holding yourself back. So it's like you're in a great opportunity to evolve, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So understand that maybe that fear is holding you back, but you can move forward now. You don't have to do things the same way your grandmother or your grandfather or your aunt, your uncle, your brother, cousin, sister, you know, you don't have to be in that same state of mind, that same emotional state, you know what I mean? So you don't, and not only that, but if you haven't noticed that by you tapping into this love that is around you and within you, it's allowing you to heal a lot of things and you're able to grow. These seeds are growing, okay? And it's not just financial seeds that are growing. These are things that have been inside of you that are now able to grow because you're tapping into a whole new you, okay? Maybe you're able to understand things better. You're able to see things better, okay? You're able to feel things better. You're able to communicate better, all right? You're able to be more creative, more passionate, more intelligent, more wise. These seeds were already in you. You're just now able to tap into them and you're seeing them grow. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so kind. My fiance just brought me a bagel and some grapes. So, that's great, you know? Oh, I love that. She's so spoiled. My daughter's like a true princess. I love it. All right, so you guys, just don't be afraid. I also I feel like a lot of you could be afraid because it's like, oh, what will so and so think? All right, a lot of the reason why we tend to hold ourselves back and stay in a pattern that's no longer viable these days in this new world is because we're worried about what will my parents think, what will my friends think, what will my coworkers think. They're gonna think what they want to think no matter what. It's not They're not walking in your path, okay? If you're being called to do something by God, you need to do it, all right? And it's your choice at the end of the day because our realm is all about free will, right? So it's your choice whether or not you want to do it, but understand that if you don't do it, you're not gonna get like you're just not gonna you know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. I'm not even gonna You're not gonna get where you could have been had you been doing the work. And I can see that you guys are actually doing the work because it may have taken you maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50, 60 years to find this love. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more greater than this love. And then not only that, but once you have this love, you're able to find this peace within you. Right? That's like the epitome of everything, like peace, right? Wow. What if everything was always working out for me? This is the what if card. What if? What if everything was always working out for me? We have 2 here and then we have 2-1. We have 221. So you guys might want to look that number up, 221. This is what I mean. And I just saw 848. When you play the what if game, look for things that make you feel better. There is never a situation in which there is not a way out, but out of habit, right? Those ancestral patterns, habit, most people continue to choose the lack perspective until they eventually find themselves where it seems that there are no more choices. But as you hold to your intention to look for evidence of well being and thriving and success and happiness, you will tune yourself to the vibrations of those things. And so those kinds of good feeling experiences will dominate your life. Also, this is exactly what I was those people who like they claim that they don't believe in God, and then something bad happens to them, and then out of nowhere they turn to God. Okay, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, right? But be careful with those people. That could even it could be anybody. It could be you. It could have been you. Like certain things make you turn to God. But just be careful that you're not turning to God only when you need God. All right? Just be careful of that. Because I guess in a way you can have everything you want now. If you're just walking in this, if you're tapping into your love, if you're walking towards God, if you're staying true to yourself and standing your ground. Also, with beyond, move beyond ancestral patterns. I'm not saying to leave your ancestral roots behind, and I'm not saying to do that, all right? Because there's actually a lot of wisdom when it comes to our ancestors, okay? There's a lot of things that have worked for our ancestors that will always continue to work, and that's because it's for a reason, all right? But I'm not talking about those ancestral patterns. I'm talking about the patterns where, like, oh, you have to look in a certain way, you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain way, you have to think a certain way, you have to feel a certain way. Those are the patterns that no longer have room for our world now. All right. And if you stay in those patterns, and if you ignore the new patterns that you're seeing, you're always going to be in the, well, what if I did follow this pattern? Okay. What if, not only that, but you guys are like, well, what if I follow my path? What are my parents going to think? Okay. What if I, decide to listen to God more? What are my friends going to think? They're going to think what they want to think no matter what. They're not walking in your path. They will never be able to walk in your path. Okay, the messages that you get are for you. All right, whether or not they want to, believe, it's up to them. But you can't. I know it's easier said than done, but try not to let others influence how you gain and receive your relationship with the divine. Otherwise, you're always being like, what if this happens? What if I had done this? What if I did this? What if this happened? All right. That's also very dangerous because that's going to prevent you from moving forward, because it's always going to be like, you're always going to be scared because you're always thinking about, well, okay, well, if I do this, what if this happens? All right. Well, if I do that, what if that happens? Just be careful. I'm going to do this and then I'm going to call it. I do feel like this reading was a little unorganized for the most part, but it is what it is. It's funny because I was like, should I not post this because of how unorganized it felt? But like, I'm gonna post it anyways. I can't not post it because I'm worried about how unorganized other people might think it might be. The message came out. It came out for a reason, so I'm gonna post it. What is a closure message, please? Heard. This is about letting go. Heard. May your brave call be carried on the wind. You guys, and persist. May your ripples build a swell on the bottom of the deck. This is about moving forward. I feel like you guys are letting go of the restraints of, because you know what it is? You guys could be feeling embarrassed too by walking this path, because maybe it's kind of like, I don't have a right to walk this path because of the way I live my life. Or you could just be embarrassed because for so long you've, acted or seen or presented yourself a certain way, and now all of a sudden you're becoming spiritual, and you could be embarrassed because you're worried that your friends or your family might think that you're a phony or you're fake, or like you're doing this for a certain reason, or like they don't understand where it's coming from, or whatever the case may be. But just know, like, it's okay to it's be embarrassed, and also know that your prayers and your wishes and your voice is being heard by the divine. They hear you. All right. And that's one of the, I guess I was going to say, saddest things is that the divine hears your calls, but the people closest to you can't and won't ever really hear the calls that you're crying out with your heart. You know what I mean? So that's what you can't worry about what they're thinking, because at the end of the day, they're not the ones that are hearing the cries in your heart. Okay, so I don't know, just keep on keeping on. I hope this helps. I hope you get something from this video, and just keep trying to tap into that love for yourself, for your environment, for the divine, and know that your calls. Oof, I'm getting like really emotional. Are being heard by God. So, bye.